by tanker 944. They have a strict 8:15 cutoff time due to darkness, so that is going to be the last drop that we're going to see tonight over this fire here in Cherry Valley. This is going to be just north of the 10 freeway. It's essentially north of where the 10 and the 60 come together, right where that 60 comes to an end here in the Banning Pass. So this is actually a fire that has been burning now since about 5 o'clock. It actually is being investigated as a possible arson fire. Residents in the area of a street called Apple Tree Lane reported to police that they saw a man walking up and down the street intentionally starting fires, and from that 3 fires formed, 2 of which have since merged together. The 2 of the larger ones are now up to about 250 acres. The smaller one is about 60 to 80 acres. And there are mandatory evacuations underway for about 1,000 residents in the area. That's going to be 150 homes. As I widen out the shot, you can really get a feel for how large this fire is. The smoke plume was visible to us as we were leaving the LA basin. And you can see that there's still a lot of active flame, and there are a lot of homes in the area. One major street here through the area is a street called Oak Glen Road, and that is actually shut down for several miles here because of the mandatory evacuations that are underway. They want to leave that open to residents only so they can clear out of here, and they don't need additional vehicles in the area if they can avoid it. So this is a fire that is being fought as a part of a mutual aid assignment. We have Riverside County Fire, we have Morongo, we have Palm Springs, and as well as CAL FIRE, which had several air tankers here, but as I was just saying at the top of this report, those tankers have now left for the day due to darkness, and we may possibly get to keep some of the helicopters here on scene as long as they have night vision goggles and night vision capability so that they can continue to fly and do water drops as they maneuver their way through the smoke and the difficult terrain. I still see some of the helicopters there. You can see that one right there making its way through the smoke. So I believe that at least some of them will stay, but as the night goes on, we will be able to confirm how many are in fact able to stay overhead and continue to battle this fire here in Cherry Valley. Now I want to talk a little bit about the mandatory evacuations. This street that we see here, I believe, is going to be one of the streets that is under that mandatory evacuation. Avenida Miravilla is the name of the street. That is one of the streets where the residents have had to evacuate. Now, we haven't heard anything across the scanner about anyone refusing to evacuate, but sometimes we do see that in these types of situations. But if the Sheriff's Department comes knocking on the door, and in this case it would be Riverside County Sheriff's, it would be advised that you do in fact evacuate before the flames encroach on your home. This particular street, as you can see, doesn't have too many homes on it. I would say that this portion that we're looking at maybe has about 6 homes on it, a few more as I make my way up the road here. but you can see why that particular street ended up falling under the mandatory evacuation order, as the flames are right up against the road. As I zoom in here, you're going to see that's the road there, Avenida Miravilla, and there are the flames right up against the road. So that is why people were asked to evacuate. Pushing in here, though, I want to see this vehicle here because it does appear to be a civilian vehicle, and it looks like it has a trailer, perhaps a horse trailer, and perhaps that is a resident from that street trying to make his or her way out of the area. In terms of other streets, though, that have been evacuated, we don't have the map just yet of which streets fall under that evacuation order, but I can tell you that it is about 150 homes and 1,000 residents that are being asked to evacuate as this fire here in Cherry Valley continues to burn. For Jack, I am waiting for it to come through, but I'm sure it'll come through soon. Sure, thank you. I'm back with you guys here. I will take a moment now just to say a few words in Spanish for the viewers for our sister station Telemundo. As soon as I'm done, we'll go back to our coverage in English. Buenas noches desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre un incendio de maleza en el valle de Cherry, en el condado de Riverside. Este es un incendio que ha crecido aproximadamente 300 acres y hay evacuaciones obligatorias para aproximadamente 1,000 residentes en el área. Eso significa 150 casas que están aquí en el área de Cherry Valley, muy cerca de una calle llamada Oak Glen Road, y justo al norte de donde se juntan las autopistas 10 y 60 aquí en el condado de Riverside. Este es un incendio que empezó aproximadamente a las 5 de la tarde y cuando el incendio empezó, residentes de una calle llamada Apple Tree Lane llamaron al 911 para reportar que vieron a un hombre empezando el incendio. Ahora hay investigadores en la escena tratando de confirmar si es exactamente eso lo que empezó este incendio o si fue algo más. Les repito, el incendio ya ha crecido a más de 300 acres y hay evacuaciones obligatorias para por lo menos 1,000 residentes en el área, 150 casas para ser más exacta con mi información. Específicamente quiero contarles sobre una calle que está aquí en el área llamada Avenida Miravilla. Todas las casas de esa calle han sido evacuadas a causa de que las llamas han llegado muy cerca a unas de esas casas, pero al momento se desconoce si en verdad han perdido casas a causa de las llamas o si simplemente están en peligro de quemarse. Estoy usando la cámara para mostrarles esa calle donde, como pueden ver, tenemos a los bomberos enfrente y en la parte de atrás de varias de estas casas tratando de protegerlas para prevenir que el incendio llegue a destruir estas viviendas. Si es que usted vive en esta área y ha sido evacuado, les cuento que pueden ir a Boma High School, a la escuela Boma, localizada aquí en el área, y ahí pueden quedarse hasta que la evacuación se levante. Y al momento se desconoce cuándo eso pasará a causa de que todavía el Departamento de Bomberos del Condado de Riverside sigue combatiendo este incendio desde la tierra y desde el aire. Tenían aviones y también helicópteros sobre la escena, pero ya a causa de que está muy oscuro, los aviones no pueden seguir volando en el área, pero los helicópteros, la historia es un poco diferente con ellos, pueden permanecer en el área por lo menos por una hora más o posiblemente toda la noche, dependiendo del tipo de helicóptero que estén usando. Les repito, este es un incendio de 300 acres que continúa quemando aquí en el Valle de Cherry, en el condado de Riverside. Reportando desde el helicóptero, yo soy Eliana Moreno, Telemundo 52. And back with you guys here in English. We just said a few words there for the viewers of our sister station, Telemundo. But now continuing back with our coverage in English, just want to give you a quick update on how the situation has changed since our last report. We still do see a lot of active flame, and we're starting to get nightfall here, so you're going to constantly see me here adjusting the colors here for nightfall. But you can see just how bright some of these flames are burning. I'm going to lower my gain here so we can take a look at the detail here. This area that is burning is mostly brush. There's really not too much in the way of structures up in this canyon, but I'll show you where the homes are. And of course, the fire department is in the business of protecting life and property, so now that they have those mandatory evacuations in order, hopefully everyone is out and they can focus on the firefight and protecting property. Gonna adjust my colors here a little bit more just so we can see the detail here a little bit better. Okay, that should work right there. I just wanted to show you just how close some of these homes are to the flames, starting to encroach here on the backyards. But the good news is, though, that those homes are downhill, and fires tend to burn uphill, and they burn uphill a lot quicker than they do downhill. So hopefully the flames that you see here will continue to make their way to the north as opposed to the south, which means that they will make their way away from the residences down below. I want to take a moment too to throw up our mapping system so that you can look at some of the streets here through the area. Just have to make some quick adjustments here while I throw that up for you. So in a moment here, and there you go, you should be able to see the streets. Now, there's that street I was talking about. That's Oak Glen Road. That is shut down completely from Wildwood Canyon Road to Cherry Valley Boulevard. Now, if you live in the area, you know that's quite the distance, and if you have been asked to evacuate, you may be wondering how you're going to get out. As long as you're trying to evacuate, you will be allowed through by the Sheriff's Department that is patrolling the area. But when you look at the flames and you look at the intensity and you see how close it is getting to some of these residential areas, it's no wonder why those mandatory evacuations are underway. You can see some of the streets here. Lane. I want to show you that because this street right here, I believe it's a cul-de-sac. Yeah, it should be that street right there. So that's Apple Tree Lane right there. Residents from that street were the ones that called 911 to report that they had seen a man intentionally starting the fire. Now, pushing in here on Oak Glen Road and moving to where that vehicle is right there. It's one of the fire department trucks. You can see a firefighter down there with his hose. It does look like this area has already burned, and it looks like that could possibly be the starting point, and then the fire made its way uphill to the firefight that we see now. So I can guarantee you that that is a portion that the investigators are going to be looking at. That's going to be, again, right there off of Oak Glen Road and Apple Tree Lane, as the map there indicates. And in fact, I'm going to drop the map so we can just get a clean feed here of what is potentially the starting point here, right off of Apple Tree Lane, which was the initial report that we got. And looking over here, you do see that there's some yellow caution tape in covering previous fires that are suspicious in nature. I can tell you that that is something that we typically see when the investigators get out here and they find an area that they believe could be the initiation point of the fire. We will see them tape it off with yellow caution tape the way you see here. So I'm going to, okay, I'm not ready for that yet. That was the night vision there. I wanted to see if we were ready to incorporate that, but it's still we still have too much light, so I will refrain from using that for now. But I can just repeating what I said though. You see the yellow caution tape here, just off of Oak Glen Road and Apple Tree Lane. This very well could be where the fire started, and especially considering that we see the yellow tape up now, It means that the investigators came through here. In fact, that may be an investigator's vehicle right there, and they found it suspicious enough to where they had to tape off the area. Again, unconfirmed that it was an arson fire, but that is, at least the initial report is that residents in the area reported seeing somebody intentionally start this fire that has now grown to 300 acres. Assignment desk from Alpha. Just want to make sure you guys copied what I was just saying about this possibly being the initiation point of the fire. Great. It's where the investigators are looking, and it will be just off of Oak Glen Road and Apple Tree Lane. They do have it taped off with yellow caution tape. Okay, perfect. Awesome. It's going to be Oak Glen Road, 3 words, and Apple Tree Lane. And we have investigators that are parked on Oak Glen Road, and then they're down in the area that has already burned, searching with flashlights. Great. And now I'm just going to very quickly say a few words about the investigation that is underway here for our sister station, Telemundo. Buenas noches de nuevo desde el helicóptero. Estamos todavía sobre el incendio de maleza en el Valle de Cherry, aquí en el condado de Riverside, y les estoy mostrando una calle llamada Oak Glen Road. Esta calle está cerca de otra calle llamada Apple Tree Lane, y los residentes de esa calle fueron los que llamaron al 911 para reportar que vieron que un hombre estaba empezando el incendio intencionalmente. Ahora tenemos a investigadores aquí en la escena, pueden ver que están ahí buscando algo con sus luces aquí en un campo vacío justo al lado de Oak Glen Road, tratando de investigar si es verdad que empezó este incendio a causa de alguien que lo empezó intencionalmente. Podemos ver ahí a los investigadores, estos son sus vehículos y pueden ver que la investigación apenas acaba de empezar, pero posiblemente aquí es donde empezó este incendio de maleza que ya ha crecido aproximadamente 300 acres y ha causado las evacuaciones obligatorias para cientos de residentes, posiblemente hasta 1000 residentes del área, que significa 150 casas del área. Un incendio que empezó aproximadamente a las 5 de la tarde. Está localizado cerca de la ciudad de Beaumont, pero en una área inincorporada, o un área que no está incorporada, pero está muy cerca a la ciudad de Beaumont y justo al norte de donde se juntan las autopistas 10 y 60. Un incendio que los bomberos del condado de Riverside, conjunto con los bomberos del departamento de Morongo y de Palm Springs y de Cal Fire, siguen combatiendo aquí en el Valle de Cherry. Yeah, go ahead, Jack. I was just discussing with David about fuel. Go ahead. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good fuel-wise for a while, but we just wanted to, think ahead. Where can we land for fuel, and just make sure that that airport is open, because some of them aren't 24 hours. So he's making some calls on the radio right now to figure all that out. Okay, 10-4. If I'm still streaming, I'm just going to say goodbye, and then I'll let you know here where we're going to land. Okay. David, you can start clearing. Yeah, you got it. Okay, cool. Thank you. And for all of you who continue to stream us online, we of course thank you for your viewership. We were just coordinating a few things here up in News Chopper 4 Alpha. Of course, this fire is still continuing to burn here in Cherry Valley, as you can see from the pictures. It really is an impressive sight, but just so incredibly destructive. Fortunately, though, no homes, as far as we know, have been damaged. There's a possibility that some structures have been, but at this point, it's unclear if those are outhouses or actual structures. We're still waiting to get the exact information on that, but of course, this is a developing situation, so oftentimes the firefighters are busy battling the fire, and it takes a little bit to get the information back. But we're going to continue to monitor this over the police scanner, over the fire scanner rather, continue to make phone calls, and continue to bring you these images as long as we can. We will be landing shortly just to get some fuel and be ready to go for the NBC4 News at 11 o'clock. We, of course, hope that you will be able to tune in with us then, but for now, from News Chopper 4 Alpha, I'm Eliana Moreno, along with my pilot, David Viskovich. Thank you very much for watching.